beneficent and merciful. Assalamu alaikum class. I hope you all will be fine. So today we are starting our chapter number 2 in chemistry, that is a chemical combination. So let's start. As the scientists take more interest when one or more than one chemical substances react to each other and they form totally the different compound. So the compound must be some type of the chemical changes, and that one chemical changes are governed by some chemical laws. These are known as the law of chemical combination. So here are some laws of the chemical combination. One by one we will discuss it. So first is the law of conservation of mass. The law of conservation of mass was presented by Lavoisier. He was a French chemist. He stated that initial weight of any reacting substance is equal to the final weight of the product. Okay, let's illustrate it by the example. For suppose that you are making a glass of milkshake. So what would be the ingredient which you will use? You will use milk, sugar. As you are making the milkshake, so you may also take some fruits, right? So these are the ingredients which you will use when you will make them. So what you will count? You will prepare a glass of milkshake. A glass of milkshake. So those substances, those substances which you have used, these are known as the reactant. So it means that reactant are those substances which is used before the reaction, and after this the substance has been formed. It is known as the product. The substance before the reaction is known as the reactant, and after the reaction is known as the product. In other words, you may also say that it is the initial substance and it is the final. Initial means starting, right? So it would be the initial substance and it would be the final substance. As we are discussing about the law of the conservation of mass, so Lavoisier states that initial weight of any substance is equal to the final weight of the product. For example, if we weigh these all things, so as its weight is about 20 grams. So after the reaction, we have seen that the final substance weight is also 20 grams. So it means that the mass of the initial substance and final substance are same. So it is the law of conservation of mass. Okay, now I would like to give you the example in terms of the chemistry. Now we will discuss it by H. Landolt experiment in terms of the chemistry. In H. Landolt was an German chemist. He illustrated this one law by taking the H-shaped tube. As it has the H shape, that's why it is known as the H-shaped tube. This tube contains two limbs. This tube contains two limbs. It is limb A and it is limb B. In limb A, he took AgNO3. Ag silver, NO3 nitrate. So it is the silver nitrate. In limb A, he filled silver nitrate, and however in limb B, he took what? He took HCl, hydrochloric acid. He filled it half. So why he filled these both them half? So that the solution could not mix to each other. After that, the topmost part of this tube was sealed, so that the material could not escape outside. After setting the apparatus, he weighed this tube. As the weight of this tube, for suppose that is the 12 grams. Okay, after weighing this one tube, what he did? He mixed both the solution. He inverted the tube. When he inverted the tube, so both the solution was mixed to each other. Okay, let's see is by the help of the equation. As R reactants are AgNO3. As in this one experiment, the silver nitrate is treated with HCl. So what the product will be formed? As Ag has positive charge, NO3 has negative charge, H has positive charge, and chlorine has the negative charge. How an atom form which one charge? So these things we will discuss in our further chapters. Right? Okay. Now see that what the product will be formed. As the opposite charges attract to each other. Right? So as it is a positive and chlorine has a negative. So silver will be combined with the chlorine, and as a result it will form AgCl, that is the silver chloride. Similarly, H has a positive charge and NO3 has a negative charge. H will be combined with NO3 and it will form HNO3, that is the nitric acid. So when the silver nitrate and HCl would be treated by each other, so what the product will be formed? Silver chloride and nitric acid will be formed. The silver nitrate, that is the AgCl, would be in the form of the precipitates. It would be in the form of precipitate. It means that the silver chloride would be found in a form of small particles which would be settled down into the lungs. And however, the HNO3, that is the nitric acid, would be found in liquid condition. So after this one reaction, the Landolt again weighed this one tube. So he found that in spite of the reaction, the weight remained same. That was the 12 gram. So this one experiment is also approving the law of conservation of the mass, that the initial weight of any substance is equal to the final weight of the product. In other words, we can say that matter can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. However, it may change from one form to another. This question is important as this question is come in a board exam and a long question. Right? Accept this. Now see the next one law, that is the law of definite proportion or law of constant composition. Okay, now let's see about the second law, that is the law of definite proportion. It is also known as the law of constant composition. Constant means physics, as we know that composition means that what it is made up of, right? So according this law was presented by French chemist. His name was Louis Proust. According to him, he states that different samples of the same compound always contain the same element combined together in the same proportion by mass. Okay, let's make it easy. By taking the example of water. If you are taking the sample of water, either it is taken from the lab, from the tap water, from the stream, from the river, from the lake, from the oceans, either you are taking from the any other sources of the water, their formula is same, that is the H2O. So the formula of every sample of water is same, that its composition, 2 atoms of the hydrogen and 1 atom of the oxygen would be involved. Right? Okay, now see its molecular mass. As the atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. The atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 and it is known as the number of atoms. So how many number of atoms are present in hydrogen? That is the 2. So it would be multiplied by 2. 1 would be multiplied by 2. Before starting the second one element, see its atomic mass. That what is the atomic mass of oxygen? The atomic mass of oxygen is fixed, is constant. That is the 16. Right? Okay, now see about the hydrogen. That would be the 2 ones are 2. And about the oxygen, that is the 16. Okay, mention here. So the molecular mass of the hydrogen is 2, atomic mass 1, and number of atom 2. 2 ones are 2. And about oxygen, the atomic mass of oxygen is 16, and if there is no number, so its symbol is present here. 16 ones are 16. If we see its ratio, so its ratio would be 1:8, as 2 ones are 2, 2 8s are 16. So the ratio of every sample of water is constant, right? So it is the law of constant composition, or you may also say it is the law of the definite proportion, that in its composition, its proportion is constant, that is the 1:8. Okay, see another example that was presented by the J.J. Berzelius. It was a Swedish chemist. According to this, he took the 10 gram of lead, lead is an element, and the 1.56 gram of sulfur. Then they both mix to each other. So what the product will be formed? When lead would be combined with the sulfur, so the lead sulfide would be formed. And as the lead is a 10 gram, sulfur is a 1.56 gram, when they both will be combined, so total lead sulfide mass is 11.56 gram. That is the constant mass of lead sulfide. Now, in the second example, he increased the quantity of the lead. In first, he took the 10 gram lead. Now, in the second example, he took the 18 gram of lead. But the quantity of the sulfur was constant. So what happens? See, as we know that the composition of the lead sulfide is fixed, that is the 11.56. So only the fixed proportion was formed, and the rest of the lead sulfide, which was in excess quantity, it became useless. That was in the residue form. It do not use in the formation of lead sulfide. So by this example, the law of constant composition is also clear, that every compound have its same proportion. What is the statement of the definite proportion? Different sample of the same compound. As we have seen, we have taken the different sample of the water. Different sample of the same compound always contain the same element. It means that the elements are same, combined together in the same proportion by mass, and its ratio is also same. Right? So here we have discussed today are two laws, that is the law of conservation of mass, and that is the law of constant composition. I hope it would be well clear to you. In spite of this, if you have any query, then you can ask your question on our WhatsApp number, and you can check your homework on our web portal. Till next class, take care and Allah Hafiz.